My name is Gail Murray, and this is an outreach ministry that God gave me in 1998. We started. But back in 1986, when my husband and I, we were going through a divorce, and I had 3 small kids. I had 2 in diapers, 1 on formula, 1 on regular milk, and a 5-year-old. So it was really difficult. It was a difficult time in my life. I was always one that worked. I worked for the Department of Defense. I have a college degree, so it can happen to anybody, and I've learned that. So that helps me not be judgmental. It doesn't matter where you come from or where, all I know is that if it's a particular time in your life when you're struggling, God has placed us here to be a help. He's not going to come down and physically do it, but He's got each and every one of us here to do a part. So I went and applied for food stamps because I figured that I could pay my mortgage and the car payment. I had a very, a decent job, but I went from 2 incomes to 1, so that was a transition. So I went and applied for food stamps, and I was turned down. And I felt so bad because it took everything that was in me to go and apply, number 1. And then to be rejected on top of not having a husband, I was already feeling bad. And when I asked the people at the food stamp office, I said, well, where can I go to get food? Because I really don't have anything for my children to eat. And then the lady just told me, I don't know. So I left there with tears in my eyes. I was devastated. And I met a lady as I was leaving the building, and she said, why are you crying? And I said, I have 3 children and I don't have any food at my house. And she told me, she said, well, I said, and I asked them, where could I go to get something to cook for them? And they told me that they didn't know. So she said, baby, don't cry. She said, there's a food pantry at Cornerstone Church on Bullard. She said, go there and they'll help you. So as I, found my way there, I don't know, I felt like maybe I would be rejected again. I was really fearful when I walked in. And I tell you, I met the nicest people that I could ever imagine meeting. They didn't ask me, how much money do you make, and, why are you driving a vehicle, none of that. All they needed to know is that I had a need. And I don't remember to this day exactly what I received in that box, but I do remember how kind they treated me and how I felt when I left. I left with my dignity intact. I didn't leave like I was begging or it was a handout. I really felt like it was a hand up. It was really helping me at that particular time. Now, years passed after that, but I always remembered where I come from and the things that I had gone through. So when at church one Sunday, I asked the pastor after church, I said, is it okay if we do a food ministry here? And everybody was on board with that. So I was able to get Second Harvest to come out and sign us up. And that was in 1998. And we did this ministry from the church from 98 until 2005 when Hurricane Katrina destroyed our fellowship hall in our church. So I went out of town for about a year, but it still haunted me. I knew that God had a ministry for me, and it was here in the city. So I begged my husband to come back to New Orleans. So we pitched a tent on the corner of Chef and Renee, and we gave out food from a tent for 18 months until God blessed us with a storefront. It was small, but we did maybe about $750 a month from that little storefront. And look what God has done. So now we're serving over 2,000 a month. He's given us a warehouse to do it from. We have great volunteers. So I know that God is still in the plan, and this is a purpose for me, So I'm just so grateful. Sometimes people say, well, thank you, you helping us. And I'm like, no, it's a blessing to be able to serve, that God has given me purpose, So I'm just as grateful to see people as they are to receive. And all glory be to God for everything that He's doing here at Love in Action Outreach. Thank you.